One of the biggest challenges that RVers face is keeping the bugs off of the front of their RV, especially the Class A motorhomes that have the high dollar paint jobs and ceramic coatings. And those of you that have followed the channel for a long time know that I come from the detailing industry. I was in the RV detailing business for over a decade, so I've always been trying to find the best products to detail your RV. And over the last several years, with ceramic coatings and waxes, it's been hard to find a bug cleaner that's pH balanced and non-caustic. So today I'm really excited to share with you a newer product that I've found that is the easiest and best way to get the bugs off of your motorhome or RV. And a lot of you are probably familiar with the Bling sauce line. They've been in Walmart, Bass Pro Shops, in their marine line for over 18 years now. I know their automotive line is in AutoZone, so a very reputable company. And their bug sauce is doing a lot of stuff that other bug removers aren't, that really are separating them. So today I want to show you how to use bug sauce to get the bugs off of this beautiful Newmar Ventana. I want to show you a few different ways to get the bugs off of the windshield and the higher surfaces. And one of the best parts about the Bling sauce bottle is you'll notice this extra extension, which is going to make it easier to spray the higher surfaces. And I do have a ladder, but I also want to show you a few different ways with some different poles that we can clean the uppers without getting on a ladder. And I've been in touch with the team at Bling Sauce to try to develop the best products for RVers. They're working on some really cool stuff to try to make this process even easier, so keep an eye out for that in the near future. I've spent a lot of time getting bugs off of RVers, both in the detail business and as an RVer myself, so this is something I'm really passionate about, and I think you guys are going to really appreciate the ease of bug sauce. Now, one of the important parts about making this process so easy is that you're working with a cool, dry surface, and right now the front end of this Ventana has been in the sun all morning, so it's still a little hot. So we're going to wait a few hours and let that sun swing around, and when the painted surface is cool to the touch, it's going to be safe to use this product. So we came back in the morning time when it's cooler. I always recommend getting the bugs off your motorhome either first thing in the morning or at the end of the day in the evening, depending on which way your motorhome is facing. Now, the best part about bug sauce is it's so easy. All you're going to need is a microfiber towel and the bug sauce, and then there's a few different tools to get up top there depending on what works best for you. The first thing we're going to do is spray a 2-foot by 3-foot section, and I always like to start from the bottom up. That's just the way I was taught, and it's nice and cool, so I'm going to be a little bit generous with spraying this stuff. So now we're going to wait about a minute to 2 minutes, and sometimes I like to manage by spraying section by section and then watching it. I'm going to do just a small section at a time to show you all. So a lot of the pros will start spraying a section at a time, but you need to manage to make sure you're not leaving it on there for too long without scrubbing the bugs off. So now that it's been on there for about a minute, I'm going to grab the towel, and check this out, guys. Literally no pressure, extremely easily. I mean, they're just very gently coming off. This is incredible, guys, how well and easy this product works. Like I said, I've been doing this for over a decade. This is the best of the best. We're not taking off the wax, any ceramic coatings. I'm being very gentle. And a little pro tip here, you want to make sure you get up in all of these little crevices here. So even these bugs that are stuck on deep in these little crevices, sometimes they get baked in, but man, I'm just so impressed at how well this bug sauce is working. This is definitely the real deal, guys. And now this diamond shield does have a couple scuffs on it, so it's not going to remove all the scratches, but we'll just go section by section here, spraying 2 feet by 3 feet. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to get a little more aggressive here. Now, you really have to pay attention because you don't want the chemical to stand on there for too long and dry up. You'll have to re-lubricate it. But I'm going to spray this next 2-foot by 3-foot section here, and I've got to kind of keep an eye on mentally at how much time this is all taking. And a lot of years of getting bugs off of motorhomes, and time was of the essence when we rolled into Sturgis, and you had about 100 motorhomes roll in with all kinds of love bugs. And I think these are love bugs, actually. that are on the front of this motorhome. If you see here, there's kind of that big residual left on it. This might only be 45 seconds. I'm a little bit eager. You want to wait a minute to 2 depending on, you know, how long, how hot it is. There's lots of different variables, but you want to make sure it's still a little bit wet. You don't want to let it dry. And you can just see that run, you know, the bugs just melting off there. Just so I just very gently rub the microfiber towel. So I'm gonna wanna fold it a few different times into different squares here. So now we've got a fresh, clean square. This is safe to use on all surfaces. So you can see this is more of an aluminum surface. It's a little more gentle. And you can see how quickly I'm getting this large area. I mean, this is incredible, guys. To not be using water, just microfiber and the product. This stuff is a game changer for sure. Most bugs are gonna leave a residue behind, and I'm not seeing any residue here. I'm gonna just fold this square again and go back over it real quickly. And there are a couple nicks in the diamond shield on this coach here, so sometimes those do look like bugs. And that's something that's so important about getting the bugs off of your motorhome, is if you let those, especially love bugs, sit on that diamond shield, the bugs have like an acid in their blood or their whatever the bug juice is, and that acid slowly eats into this vinyl. So it's very important that, you know, you don't let these bugs sit on there for a long time. And that's what's so great about bug sauces. Just makes it easy. You're not jacking around with garden hoses, that kind of stuff. You're not bringing DI canisters. You know, I always talk about washing coaches with deionized water is the only way to do it, but it's tough to haul around those DI canisters. So to get the bugs off, stuff is incredible. All right, I should be timing this. We're gonna keep cruising through here, and then I'm gonna do half of the windshield with the ladder. That's the way I like to do it, but I think the bug sauce is such a good product that we're gonna be able to use these poles as well. I'm going beyond the instructions here, guys. I'm gonna make sure that none of this sits for more than a minute or 2, but while that's settling in, I'll show you real quick the 2 different products that we're gonna have. So what I'm gonna use, this is just like a Swifter pole, and there are some better ones that do have a Velcro backing, but I'm basically gonna just put a microfiber towel on this pole, spray the bug sauce up top, and wipe it off. I think that might even be easier than a ladder. I've always used ladders in the past, but this is just so easy to work with that I think I'm gonna try to just do it without the ladder. You can see this is just effortlessly coming off, guys. I mean, look at how quickly I just cleaned that panel. Where was this stuff when I was doing this professionally, guys? I mean, no residue left behind. What do you think, Eli? Are you pretty impressed?
I thought you needed water.
No water. I mean, this is the real deal, guys. And I've got to really tip my hat to the folks at Bling Sauce. They are very receptive. You know, they're listening. They are really passionate about bringing the best products to the industry. You know, their marine line has been around for 18 years. They really focused on the marine line. But I'm honored that they've been wanting to know my opinion, you know, being an RV detailer and an RV, you know, user as well. They're really trying to get you guys the best products here. All right, we've got the whole lower half done. You know, another little pro tip here, what I like to do is fold up my microfiber towel, and see these cracks like this? It's very easy for the bugs to get stuck in there, but when we're running this edge of this microfiber towel, it's gonna clean those bugs that are in the deepest cracks. And you know, it's those little details that really set a difference, you know, when you see the motorhomes that are really well cared for. And keep in mind, you know, the camera might show this, it looks like it's a bug, but that's actually just a little gash. And here's what can happen from this is if someone gets too close with a power washer, that's exactly what will happen. A lot of people get a little bit lazy and they're just trying to wash the bugs off with just water, and then you're, you know, risking putting holes in your diamond shield, all of that stuff. This RV bug sauce is the way to go. I'm gonna get another towel here to start doing the uppers on this coach. I could probably still keep using this towel. I'm gonna switch it out. This can be washed and reused, but I did the whole bottom half of the motorhome with just one towel, and this is gonna be a little bit awkward. I would recommend getting something that has a Velcro backing, but this is what I had laying around the house, so this is not an endorsement for Swifter. There's much bigger, larger, better tools that you can use. I just want to show you how easy bug sauce is here. So So this is the really good part about Bug Sauce, is it's got the longer extension, which is going to make it easier to reach up there. And then what I can do is switch the nozzle a little bit if I want to get higher up there. And I'm probably being too aggressive with it. I would probably do a smaller section at a time, but I just get so excited about this product. And here, if I need to get a little bit higher, I'm gonna even put it even more. And I don't know if the camera can see that, but we're getting the whole top of the coach, no problem there.
So this trigger gets its power to reach 14 feet through the siphoning device. So it is very important to turn the end closed so that you're not losing any product when you're not using it.
All right, so it's been on there almost a minute. I'm gonna start scrubbing it off here, and I should have gotten a longer pole, but guys, this is just incredibly easy here. And then another pro tip as well is I'm gonna take the towel off here. I'm gonna lift up the wiper here to make sure we're getting below the wiper. And guys, I can't believe with just a couple swipes of the Swiffer with a microfiber towel on it, and check out how clean this side of the windshield is. Even if it's not perfect, I'm gonna go over it one more time on the side here. This windshield does have a little chip in it there, so you're gonna notice a little difference between the chip and where bugs are. But guys, we basically debugged half of this coach in minutes here. All right, we're almost done. This is very effortless. It's very humid and hot here in Florida. We've got a heat advisory, and we've gotten almost all of the bugs off, and I think I'm just now breaking a sweat. We've been out here for probably 10 or 15 minutes moving the coach and everything, so. Now I still do need to get the rear view mirrors here. I'll get those in a second. That's the great thing about Bug Sauce, is you're able to use it on glass, mirrors, paint, gel coat, whatever your RV is. Very easy to use. It's pH balanced and gentle on your ceramic coating or waxes, so you're not worried about stripping that off of the coach. So after a minute, I'll just scrub the last few bugs off here. And I am working on getting a better pole. I did talk to the folks at Bling Sauce about possibly developing some better equipment, so keep an eye out for that here in the near future. Now this rag is starting to get a little bit too much stuff on it, so I'm gonna switch it out for a clean rag, and then we're gonna clean the windshield with RV Sauce in a moment, just to make sure that that windshield is spotless up there. All right guys, so I'm a detail guy, and we can only get so good with that pole, so I wanna pull out the ladder and get up there and just see it from a few inches away to make sure everything's perfect. So I'm gonna go over it with the RV Sauce. This is another product by Bling Sauce, very easy to use. We're gonna be doing some videos showing this product. Now I always recommend being careful when on a ladder. It's one of the most common causes of injury, so be very careful when you're doing this out here. I had a lot of broken arms. I broke my arm twice while detailing RVs over a 10-year period. Always be very careful, but I'm gonna spray a little bit of this RV Sauce, and then again fold the microfiber into 4 squares, and then I always like to just get in all the corners. And once you've wiped it a couple times, I'll flip it over to the other clean square. Again, lifting that windshield wiper to get below that clean. And another pro tip that I like to share is to just rub your rag on the inside of the wiper, so then when you do turn your wipers on, you're not getting your windshield dirty with that built up dust. And the corners are the easiest part to miss, so I always recommend making sure you get all the way to the corners. And I'll usually split the windshield up into about thirds just to keep it simple. Spray a little more of that RV Sauce, and this product even smells nice. And you can, do the Bug Sauce step this way as well if you just want to make sure you're getting all of the bugs. When I'm 2 inches away, sometimes I notice little reminiscence of bug juice that that didn't come all the way off, that you can't see from down there, but when you get up close, you can really see everything well. All right, guys, and I will say we should have gotten a little bit of an earlier start. It is 10:30 out right now, and currently 89 degrees and probably about 90% humidity. So I would try to get this done before 8 or 9 a.m. In the summertime. But even at 10:30, when it's 90 degrees with a heat advisory, we're still getting it done here. And so now I'm getting closer to the end. So I've got 2 rags, one rag that has a little bit of more product built up in it, and then a rag for finishing. You just want to make sure you're overlapping and not missing any parts. They'll really show up if anything doesn't get hit. And like that, I'd say that probably took me about maybe 10 or 15 minutes to do the bug sauce. I'm taking my time, and you know, after I got on the ladder, this windshield is completely bug free, just getting the last couple details in the corner that's hard to reach up here. Nothing like going down the road with that nice, fresh, clean windshield. So this summer, when you're out busting bugs in your RV, I highly recommend getting bug sauce. You can get it on Amazon. I will leave a link in the description below, and keep an eye out for Bling sauce products coming out in some of the big box stores in the near future. You can find their automotive line and their marine line on walmart.com and amazon.com. I believe their auto line is in AutoZones as well. So a very well-known company that's gaining a lot of popularity quickly. So definitely worth trying out a bottle of bug sauce for yourself. I greatly appreciate all of you subscribing to the channel, and hope you're all having a great day. Thanks again.